Giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock of Israel. Shalom and salutation to you. I come out here pushing the words of truth and sincerity. I brought this out. This video is edifying. It's just a quick, short, straight to the point on dealing with, let's say, self-righteousness and the ignorance of self doctrine. Basically it's a idea that you know yourself, or you're perfect already in the eyes of the Lord, and you're already established, and you basically just waiting for the Lord to come back and deliver you, because you one of the elect. It's this proud, it's this haughtiness of you know what you gonna do when the C-hip comes out and mandated, or you just know that you one of the elect, and you just eradicate the idea of I gotta hope or wait to see, Yahweh Shai he gonna select me. You got that Ali mentality when it comes to overconfidence and, self-righteousness. So we just gonna go through the scriptures and see some examples of really how far Israel fell as a people, and really what became of those who had this idea that they have mastered themselves and they know themselves better than anyone else. You really don't know yourself, come to find out. You learn yourself in the everyday situations, and you can see what you're made of through various situations only when you are tried, right? You begin to get more familiar with yourself, but there's still a reasonable let's say a miscalculation that you can have of yourself, and be some forms of overconfidence and things like that you got to be wary of in this truth. So let's grab Romans 7:14. It says, and right here it tells you the conflict of two natures. What do you mean two natures, right? A nature, you got two natures within yourself. Struggling with sin. How do you struggle with something? You're this confident being. You overqualified to be a man of the Lord. You are part of the elect, right? So how is your walk? Do you not deal with this same conflict that Paul himself elaborated on here in Romans? Verse 14, he said, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin." NLT says, "The trouble is with me, for I am all too human, a slave to sin." So, well, there it is now. The law is good, right? The law is justified, but he's the sinner, slave to the sin, and the trouble lies within him. It goes on, "For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not. But what I hate, that I do." Right? Self-explanatory. It says, that if then I do that which is I would not, it says, I consent unto the law that is good. All right. So it says in NLT, "But I know if that what I am doing is wrong," and that's the bottom line. What you're doing is wrong. That's as sometimes as good. That's that other side of that nature. That's why it's two natures that are battling within you: the spiritual and the carnal, the flesh and the spiritual. And just to know that you're doing something wrong, it says, shows that I agree that the law is good, because otherwise you won't feel conflicted with that wrong that you do. And of course, you repent for that wrong you do. You fast and you pray that the Lord gives you the might and the spirit to fight against that carnality in those ways, and you learn and you grow from it. It says, verse 17, now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. He's saying, so I am not the one doing wrong. It is a sin in me that does it. Now, you can't go on the stand after you just murder somebody and say, no, look, Josh, it wasn't me, though. It was a sin that was in me, and it might just be so. But you and that demon, old Paul Mooney sketch, where he said, look, white people Edomites could basically plead that it was the demons. They said, Judge, it was the judge said, no, little Timmy, it was, mental health, free him, or give him three months and free him. And then when Jake come to the judge, he say, Judge, I got 7 demons on me. He said, well, all 7 of y'all niggas just going into jail. So just remember, you draw away as much as you possibly can from allowing that flesh to get caught up, right? The flesh can get caught up. If you're going out getting drunk all night, just expect that demons are going to jump on you or others to do some flexing, right? False courage and so forth and so on. And this is why we refrain from certain things and build up a spirit of defense, right? With the helmet, the breastplate of hope, and helmet of salvation. This is why we walk in the spirit so that we don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. And the flesh constantly wants to be catered to, man. But it has to be denied at all costs. Resist the tempter, all right? And so Paul is saying here in verse 18, it says, for I know that in me, that is my flesh, dwelleth no good. For to will is present with me, but to perform that which is good, I find not. NLT says, and I know that nothing good lives in me, that is my sinful nature. I want to do what is right, but I can't. So simply, if this idea exists in all of us today, we have nothing to boast of. We are in complete, constant hope that we can just continue to reflect those good spiritual works of light that we know brings forth salvation, right? And we can hope that the Lord just ushers in all of these prophecies so that we can get up out of here. But we know the longer we're here, the more we're consumed in this struggle, in this fight, in this battle between carnal and spirituality. And the more we have to push and regulate our carnal, and the more we have to free and rely on our spirituality, because we constantly are fighting. There's two natures fighting in our own selves. It says, for the good that I I do not. But the evil which I would not, that I do. Now, if I do that, I would not. It is no more I that do it, but the sin that dwelleth in me. All right. So Paul was able to understand the complexity of the mind and the spirit versus the carnal mind, and see that even though he wants to and desires to do right, there's still time and there's still ways in which the wrong is done instead. Just let you know that there's a part of yourself that you are just not in control of, right? And you have to, by all means, help the spirit to maintain control over that. That's why we go through these lessons. That's why you read your scriptures daily. That's why you trust in the Lord and ask him to increase your faith. And that's why he tests you to see where you're at. John 9:39 says, Yahushua said, for judgment I am come into this world, that they which see might not. Let me start at verse 38. It says, and he said, Lord, I believe, and he worshipped him. And Yahushua said, for judgment I am come into this world, that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. NLT says, I entered this world to render judgment, to give sight to the blind, and to show those who think they see that they are blind. Verse 40, and some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words and said unto him, are we blind also? NLT says, are you saying that we're blind? Yahushua said unto them, if you were blind, you should have no sin. But I say ye, but now ye say, we see, therefore your sin remaineth. NLT says, but you remain guilty because you claim you can see. And that's the idea of thinking you have it all and thinking you know it all. You're just one big know-it-all in this truth. You have to reconsider that the Most High has created you to have this consistent, constant battle with the desire to do right and the temptations to do evil. That is your fight daily, right? The desire to remain steadfast and the temptations to flee. If it was so easy, you wouldn't need some desire to be steadfast. You wouldn't hear about continue on in the works. You wouldn't hear about continue and be steadfast and make strong the feeble knees. Why would you need to make strong somebody if they could just desire salvation and desire to be strong? Oh, it's because, you don't have complete, full control to lock in all the time. You're battling of the flesh, man. And the flesh is its own entity that drives you to go off, right, within you, if you can understand. All right, so this is, let me see if it's going to pop up. This is John 13, and I'm going to start at 36. It says, Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither thou goest? Yahushua answered him, Whither I go, thou cannot follow me, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. NLT says, you can't go with me, but you will follow me later. Peter said unto him, Lord, why can I go that or follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. And this is where ignorance of self manifests in self-confidence. The ignorance that you'll have of what you're capable of doing because you just truly don't know yourself, it manifests itself in, I can do it. You see, you don't know that self of you, that is weak. You don't know how weak you are if you haven't been tested. You haven't been tested above your measure. You don't know where your limitations are. The Heavenly Father, while Yahushua knows. And see here, Peter didn't know. He testified that he would do something that he was incapable of doing. He was self-confidence. But that shows the downfall of this, being ignorant of yourself. Right? That's what Paul just said. Look, I be doing things I don't even want to do. This sin controls me from within, and I'm not even capable of deciding ahead of time what I won't do. The things I won't do, that's the things I'll be doing. So you're basically always at the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. And this is why we don't boast of the things that we haven't done as if we know we're going to do it, as if we sure we're going to do it, as if we've done it already. Why? Because the Lord could put the spirit on us where it's just, we collapse or we faint. Abarat we don't. Lord willing. And that's why the scriptures allude to basically and say straight out, every day, let your saying be, Lord will I do this and Lord will I do that. Because it's the Lord's will that overrides your own personal will. You don't know yourself. The Creator knows you like you will never know. So you only learn yourself as you begin to do things that are right or do things that break your conscience because you know they was wrong, which is a good sign. If at least you know it's wrong, you can repent of it. It says Peter said unto him, Lord, why cannot I follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. Yahushua answered him, wilt thou lay down thy life for my sake? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, the cock shall not crow till thou hast denied me thrice. So not only did Peter not know himself, and he was ignorant, and then he boasted in something that it wasn't destined for him to do in the first place. Now Yahushua had to prophesy to him so that he could remember the moment in which he was overly confident. His ignorance manifested itself in confidence. And now you can start to pop up certain guys amongst Israel who have this confidence, this bravado, if you will, right? This self-confidence. Oh man, look how confident he looked, man. They sticking out their chest, their heads always high. It's this, as if to say, I will not take the mark no matter how, right? As for me and my house. Come to find out, when the time comes, man, you're going to see certain people dissolve like a wet napkin. You see? Because sometimes ignorance manifests itself in confidence. As Peter. So before the cock crowed 3 times, Peter denied the Lord 3 times before the cock crowed. All right. Now let's see if we have anything else. This is Mark 10:38. It says, but Yahushua said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? Again, ignorance of self manifests itself in self-confidence. They said unto him, we can. That's like with a shadow of a doubt. That's very confident that you would say that, Lord, easily I'll drink. They didn't even give it no thought. Because again, once you can basically identify that everything you've been through up until this point means that's who you are, well, now you begin to be ignorant of what times are ahead. Again, the scriptures allude to a time of Jacob's trouble, a time like none other, in which the enemy Esau Edom will come down with great wrath, because he knows that he had but a short time. And what does he wield? His sword. And does he wield it in vain? No, he does not. So you will see people microwaved from distances. You will see the heavens turn into damn near asphalt. All right, because of his weaponry. You will see laser technology upon drones from the skies. You will see Project Blue beams emanating from the skies of false messiahs and returns. All right, you will see Esau's sword come to full fruition. All right, he can cause earthquakes, as he can cause hurricanes and tornadoes by manipulating the air through his heart machines. So, and then you'll see apparitions on top of that. So, with the CERN machine opening up certain realms of demons that, right, haven't been around since the time of the Lord, let's say. Well, these times are going to bring about a change in what you're used to. So, to say, I know with a certainty that when these things happen, Lord, no, you got to say, Lord willing. With all hell that's about to be break loose and unleashed upon Babylon, America, man, and we here in the belly of the beast, Lord willing, man, Lord willing. If it be your will, Lord, let me go through with this. If it be your will, Lord, keep me in your stead, keep me in your protection, protect me, Lord, from these demonic forces, from the highest level of the demoncy, to the lowest, protect me, Lord. Keep me, Lord. Guard me, Lord, It says, and they said unto him, we can. And Yahushua said unto them, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, and with the baptism that I am baptism, withal shall ye be baptized. All right. So there is a time in which it's going to get real, judgment is going to play out in various ways. And some of it's going to be painful to watch. Some of it's going to be people that we know are being judged, making it even more painful. But just stick with the idea that you do not know yourself as much as a creator knows you. So the best mentality you could be in and promote within yourself is, Lord, I want to do whatever pleases you. And sometimes I fall short, but I pray, Lord, that you keep me up and guard me during these hours where I'm tempted to go off and tempted to sin against you. May you continue to uphold my soul, Lord, so that I'll be and do the things that are more pleasing to you when these things come. Abu Rob is out. This video was edifying. Till next time. Shalom.